Well, we can never say anything for certain when it comes to Ukrainian politics, of course, but we've heard from the bloc of Yulia Tymoshenko on Monday. The party signed a memorandum according to which every single deputy of the bloc of Yulia Tymoshenko was ready to return to the original format of the Orange Coalition, that is, of course, the Our Ukraine Party and the bloc of Yulia Tymoshenko, while only two-thirds of the Our Ukraine Party was ready to do so. And, of course, it's now up to the president to persuade the remaining one-third of the party to rejoin the coalition in its format. But experts have already been pretty much skeptical about whether this coalition will work and whether it will be any different from what used to be for the last 12 months or so, when this coalition was having a majority in parliament. That is mainly because, according to experts, they believe that Yulia Tymoshenko's willingness to make compromises with the Our Ukraine Party and to fulfill some of Yushchenko's ultimatums is justified not by her willingness to work with the Our Ukraine Party again, but more than by her willingness to save the country's political system. At least that's what's been said by the bloc of Yulia Tymoshenko in the last couple of weeks. And still nobody excludes the chance, even though we had some unexpected developments on Monday evening with this memorandum by the bloc of Yulia Tymoshenko, still nobody among the experts excludes the possibility that fierce rivals, Party of Regions and bloc of Yulia Tymoshenko, could still team up in alliance, even maybe then getting a constitutional majority in parliament, even though the bloc of Yulia Tymoshenko is still being denouncing that it will team up with its fierce rivals.
Okay, well, that's possibly in the future. Let's get back to now. If they don't agree, if they can't make their minds up to shake hands, what happens next? And indeed, what was the main stumbling block?
Well, the answer to this question is quite easy. The president will then dissolve the parliament if the parties fail to agree on a new coalition. In fact, it's a very interesting situation for President Yushchenko. He came out from almost a political oblivion in which he's been finding himself for the last couple of months. His political rating was known to be declining, and even some parties made serious allegations against him. Some parties were even, in fact, talking about impeaching the president. But now he has the right to either unite the parties, as I mentioned earlier, or to dissolve them, to dissolve the parliament, of course. And as far as we know, he'll be holding consultations with the major political forces on Tuesday throughout the day, maybe talking about the possible new coalition. And we haven't heard any reaction from the presidential administration so far on the memorandum of the Yulia Tymoshenko bloc, which was signed on Monday. But we've heard from President Yushchenko on Monday, when he was in London, that he was willing to give the parties several more days to talk the situation over, thus lifting the deadline from October the 7th to the Tuesday, which is, of course, today. But the main stumbling block here, of course, remains the contradictions between him and the Prime Minister.
Yeah, indeed. It's been rather a love-hate relationship all along the way, hasn't it? Is there really any hope that President and Prime Minister can come together again and forge forward some sort of useful, meaningful coalition where they can work together and go into the future and not bicker?
Well, this is something Ukrainian experts have many doubts about it. You know, this is really a love-hate relationship. It's been going on for almost 3 years now. Yulia Tymoshenko used to be a prime minister before, but then she was fired by president for economic stagnation and populist policies. Now she's back at the helm again. She's been, as many experts say, pretty much successful as a prime minister in the course of the last 12 months. But the level of contradictions between the prime minister and the president is pretty strong now. In fact, I'd like to remind to our viewers that the reason why the Orange Coalition collapsed on the September the 2nd was a final boiling point in the relationships between Yulia Tymoshenko and President Yushchenko. This was, of course, the issue of the Russia's military action in South Ossetia, and that's when the president and prime minister did not find common views. While the president was strongly condemning Russia's actions, Yulia Tymoshenko did not support him in this, and that's why the Orange Coalition collapsed. So experts are pretty much skeptical about this possible alliance working once again. As I've said earlier, Yulia Tymoshenko's, according to experts, Yulia Tymoshenko's willingness to fulfill some of Yushchenko's ultimatums is justified by her willingness to save the country's political scheme, and that's obviously what all the parties have been thinking about in the last couple of months.
Okay, well, RT, very much across this story with your help as well. Alexei Ojevsky, it was good to see you reporting this morning.